What's up YouTube? I'm Corey and this is Apple Knows. So without further ado, let's get started and see what Apple knows this week. You can now follow the App Store on Twitter at App Store. Through Twitter, Apple's going to be announcing some cool new apps, some discounts on apps that are released in the App Store, and it's pretty much going to be pretty cool. So make sure you follow the App Store on Twitter and don't miss out on anything cool. Remember when I made the iPhone 5 video announcing what I thought was going to be on the iPhone 5? Well, it looks like they're going to have NFC, which is Near Field Communications. I learned how to say it. If you haven't watched that video, please watch it right there and see what I think is going to be on the iPhone 5. And it's looking like they're going to have Near Field Communications, maybe I didn't learn how to say it, on the iPhone 5 and the iPad coming up soon. Near Field Communications is where you can have your phone or your device about 4 inches away from the reader, and you can make payments through your device and not have to swipe a credit card. Just hold it in front of it 4 inches, and then you'll pay for your whatever you're paying for. And Apple might be using iTunes accounts to pay for the goods and services, and so you wouldn't have to swipe your card or anything. You just take your iPhone out, hold it in front of the scanner, and you paid for your thing, which would be pretty cool. So we might see that coming up in the iPhone 5 and the next generation iPad. Verizon announced the Hotspot feature pricing for the iPhone 4 this week. The Hotspot feature will cost $20 per month and will be able to connect 5 devices at a time. The Hotspot feature will utilize a separate 2 GB from your voice and data plan, and you will have to pay for your data and then the Hotspot feature, which is an extra $20. And the bad thing is, if you go over the Hotspot feature, 2 GB, then you'll have to pay another $20 that month. And the bad thing is that whenever you use the Hotspot feature, it's utilizing something separate, the 2 GB. So if you go over your phone plan and the Hotspot feature, you're going to have to pay $40, which isn't hard to do with 2 GB. I've almost gone over it. Yeah, not good. It's bad because if you have 2 GB and you go over it with your computer or whatever you're using, then you have to pay $20, and it's separate from your phone, so it doesn't take away from your phone data, and it utilizes a separate, which is good and bad, I guess. So it will cost $20 on Verizon next month for the Hotspot feature. The Verizon iPhone 4 pre-orders will begin at 3 a.m. Eastern Time on February the 3rd. And that's for people that already have a Verizon contract and are not switching from AT&T to get the iPhone. And so if you guys want to wake up really early or just not go to sleep, you can get an iPhone, pre-order it online at Verizon site, or I guess on Apple's site too. And leave a comment below and tell me if you guys are going to get a Verizon iPhone, and are you going to wake up early, 3 a.m. to get it, Eastern Time. Apple did some maintenance to their site and made it a little bit darker. Some people say that they made their site a little bit darker because they're going to be releasing a new type of MacBook with a different type of metal, and the metal would be darker. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm just saying what I've heard. And the MacBook would be darker with that new metal. Of course, then their site would be darker, so it could make some sense, but I don't believe in anything just yet. The site got a new navigation system bar. You don't have to swipe across to find your Mac now. You just have this little tab and it goes to it. Most people thought that an iPhone 4 white version would be released whenever the site went down, but when it came back up, there was no white iPhone 4, and that leads me to my next story. The white iPhone 4 issues have been fixed, and the problem was that the paint on the iPhone was not uniform and it caused leaking, and it ruined your beautiful pictures on your iPhone. And so they fixed the problem. Now it's uniform painted, I guess. But what surprises me is that there's parts, white iPhone parts, and people have white iPhones with the white paint, and it's perfectly fine. They say that there's no problems with it. So what surprises me is that Apple hasn't got the white iPhone before people have got their white iPhone by doing the white iPhone kits. So that surprises me that Apple couldn't get it solved before other people could get it solved and sell Apple parts to people to convert their iPhone from black to white and have a white iPhone. So that's all for that story. Let's move on to our next. The iPad turned 1 this week, and it was released on January the 27th, 2010, and we could be seeing an iPad 2 pretty soon. The expected release, or announcement date, I should say, is the 9th of February, with a little hint on the calendar app. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no, like always. I think it's probably going to be on the 9th, just because the little calendar app. And also, whenever they release products like that, they usually have a little calendar app saying the date, but it's just a little hint that Apple gives out, and for people to look forward to and, I guess, decode. The Macintosh turned 27 this week, with the first one being released on January 22nd, 1984. You can see it right, let's see, right there. So that's all that Apple knows this week. I'm Corey, and this is Apple Knows. Check back next week to see what else Apple knows. So without further ado, bye-bye.